No, referee says a slip that time. Counter-attack by Celtic. There goes Johnston. Offside. This game has a marvellous flow to it. Alan McInally initiating that tremendous surge there by Celtic. Culminating in a icily cool piece of play by young Ian Durrant, Rangers goal scorer. And then that tremendous surge to the other end. This was the run. Rangers defenders were parting. There was a touch to the side. That called Rangers all ends of problem. Now watch Durrant here. Oh dear, oh dear. Really under pressure. Ferguson. To Cooper. Free kick. And it has been very tousy, Jim, you know, in the past 5-10 minutes.
Well, I think a lot of the problems caused by out here today, we've got players who are exceptionally capable at taking the ball at defenders, and with people that are playing in defensive positions that really aren't good tacklers.
So free kick to Rangers.
We definitely lack in the game enough players to take the ball to opposing defenders.
Goes for a penalty kick there. It's a given. It's a penalty to Rangers. Butcher was fouled according to the referee. And I make it about 7 minutes remaining as that was hoisted up and Butcher went down and the referee pointed to the spot, and there's going to be bother for a Celtic player. I don't know which one it is. There it is again. Jim?
No doubts at all, a penalty kick.
And I think it's the Celtic goalkeeper being booked. Now, Jim, you played in some important games. You've watched a lot of important games as a manager. Would you really like to be in a player's shoes at a stage like this?
Well, I think David Cooper, if he's taking a penalty kick, had a nice rehearsal down at Wales not so long ago.
And it was a penalty kick that was almost saved by the keeper. So, a vital moment in this game. I make it 5.5 minutes remaining of the Skull Cup final. Penalty to Rangers. 2-1. Done with the greatest simplicity by the man hoisted up by McCoy's, Davy Cooper. And once again, the Rangers supporters erupt. Now, Sinis and Walter Smith making some sort of indication there. And Celtic have got exactly 5 minutes to save this match and put it into extra time. There is Butcher. And there's McFarlane. That's surely a free kick. Yes, free kick to Rangers. It's one of these things, Jim, that the game, we said at the start, the game would hinge on a bit of luck, an awkward break, and
I'm very sorry
that was a bit of luck, but it's, as you say, it's a tragedy for the team to concede that at that stage.
Yes, it's very, very difficult to accept a penalty kick against you. You're always looking from your point of view, but to me there was no doubt about it.
While Celtic have shown in the past how strongly they can come back. As said, the initiative rested with them. Grant, neatly inside. White. And there was a real collision there. Roy Aitken, very irate. Real head collision. I think it was quite accidental. I must say, I was watching the ball.
No, I disagree. I think it's a bookable offence, and I think he will be booked.
Yes. Certainly a booking for Ali McCoist when he gets up. That was the infringement, and he's suffering.
He'll suffer more shortly.
And I'm not sure if Rangers would substitute Robert Fleck at this stage, but he's booked. No substitution, free kick to Celtic. On it goes. And I think the linesman is going to report an incident. He is indeed. Interesting to see what they are conferring about. Taking a long time about it, and he's going to speak to who? Right now, what's going on? He's bringing players across. Now, what's going on? This is very intriguing, Jim.
I didn't see anything happen at all. I was watching the McCoist incident.
There's a booking for Monroe. And Johnson will go off. Rangers now playing against 10 men. And
it's
there is another one. And it's really getting hot out there. I think another Celtic player has been ordered off. He certainly showed another red card there, Jim.
Yes, I think it's Tony Shepherd.
This has all come from an incident, and there's David Hay getting into bother, and it's a tragedy that this cup final is ending this way. I have in front of me a note from the Scottish League which says that they hope that the teams will be conscious of the importance of maintaining
the referee's
a correct
changed the
and
decision
sportsmanlike league.
He definitely showed a red card.
He definitely showed a red card. However, the game goes on. No.
Robert Fleck for Ali McCoist.
Fleck is now coming on for Ali McCoist. Free kick to Celtic. And we have no idea what that stoppage time was. I would make it there's still a full 4 minutes of playing time left, although our watch shows 45 minutes. Excellent save by the Rangers goalkeeper under pressure. Well, that was utter confusion, Jim. He certainly showed a red card. Maybe it was insisting that the original sending off was right and correct. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, I can't understand what happened there at all.
So Mo Johnson is off the pitch. I think they were squaring up to each other. I think we can perhaps show this incident. Way downfield it goes. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers have won the Skol League Cup final under very controversial circumstances near the end. The cup goes to Ibrox. And there is joy at the Rangers camp. And a very angry Celtic manager and players. And away in the far side, as the Rangers supporters begin to celebrate, long figure of Owen Archdeacon, and there's a very sporting handshake there. Davy Hay must be sad, embittered perhaps, and deeply disappointed, and the Celtic goalkeeper, who's already been booked, ought to get off. And Rangers have won the first trophy of the season. Now, let me just explain to you, the Scottish League, rather dampening things in my view by having them in a protocol in the centre. Man of the match, not surprisingly, Derek Ferguson, who I thought played quite brilliantly for Rangers.
I would most certainly agree that it should have been a Derek, but it was hard to choose between Derek Ferguson and Derek White.
And so Rangers take the trophy. And they're insisting and going towards the supporters. They're not really supposed to go near the support until after the presentation.
It must have been a nerve-wracking end to that game.
Yeah, I don't think we played particularly well today, but at the end of the day, you've got to be happy with the result. Cup finals, I think all the players that were involved today were kind of nervous. We certainly didn't play anything like I wanted us today, but we're happy with the result.
What was it like for you sitting on the bench at an Old Firm Cup final here at Hampden? Must have been frustrating.
I'd much rather have been playing. No, it's not. In one way, it's a great feeling, but in another way, it's a tell. I mean, I'm not a nervous person, but I've been shaking for the last hour and a half.
Well, what about the fans now behind you? You're obviously pleased for them.
At the end of the day, you've got to be pleased for them more than the players.
Right, we'll let you.
They've had a lot of bad years in the past, and we're only going to try and fulfill all their hope.
Well, do enjoy it. Thank you.
I'll go speak to the players.
Right, okay. Yes. How do you feel about that?
Well, you think, listen to it, it's fantastic. I feel, well, I'm trying to savour every moment. I was going to flash by, but all credit to Celtic, because I thought they came out the second half and went to defend resolutely. I thought Chris Woods had a magnificent game today. He really justified his feet today. I thought, well, with him behind us, he took a hell of a shot from Brian McLeod to beat us, and at the end of the day, I mean, there was a penalty. I mean, that was my ball all the way when I was pulled down, so I think justice was done in the end, but, you know, what an atmosphere.
You played at big games in Wembley. What about the atmosphere here?
I think it's the best in the world. Played in World Cups and before, but incredible.
Congratulations.
Well, there we are. Well, there are the Rangers players now coming up for the presentation. And I totally agree with Terry Butcher there. Chris Woods was quite superb today. True international form. There he is. And have taken a long, long time to get this cup presentation. I can't quite understand why they just don't get them up and get it over and done with. There's David McPherson. There is a cup waiting with a shot of David McPherson there, who was suspended for today. And now Terry Butcher will become the first Englishman to lift that League Cup trophy. high in air as the captain of a Scottish club. Expectantly waiting for him. David Holmes of Rangers, Jim Farry, Mrs. Galletley, who will be making the presentation. And there is Terry Butcher, the first Englishman to hold that League Cup trophy aloft. And he'll do it right now. The huge Ranger support packed in here. Two cups for the price of one. Behind him, the Rangers goalkeeper Chris Woods, Jimmy Nicholl, Cammy Fraser, Ali McCoy's hirpling, but winning a cup like that is a fair enough anaesthetic, is it not? Ted McMinn. And there was the man of the match, Derek Ferguson, and Davy Cooper, who so calmly stroked home one of the most vital penalty kicks he's ever had to take. And up will go Celtic for their medals, but out comes Terry Butcher, where they are allowed to go down to their supporters. And not a single Rangers supporter has left Hampden Park. There's a very gallant Celtic side. Cammy Fraser, Terry Butcher, and they've got to get right across there and have the photographs taken. A delighted Terry Butcher, and look at that for a contrast. Dejected Celtic players, and I know exactly how they feel. And the Rangers supporters demanding that their team goes back down there to greet them. Well, they're in the party mood, and I would imagine that party's going to go on for a few hours yet. Rangers, who played by common consent very disappointingly on Thursday night, have produced the goods when it mattered, and round they go with the cup. To the delighted Rangers legions on the terracing. And Graham Souness has disappeared from all of this. He's leaving it to his players. And the Rangers of players giving them plenty sight of the cup. He's been commandeered by the photographers. And our cameraman down there running around is doing a marvellous job. Part of the 74,000 crowd, 74,219 officially recorded. And the players patiently posing for photographs. As Chris Woods, who had a quite outstanding game.
Oh, okay. Henry, how did you feel when you stood up to take the penalty?
Well, it's a wee bit nervy at first, but I knew I would score, you know. I had confidence.
You had a few difficult penalties, one a couple of years ago against Wales, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
How did that rate amongst them all?
Well, they're all important when it comes to finals, you know, and it's an important penalty, but I'm glad I got it.
How much do you know about which way Pat Bonner normally goes in a penalty?
Sorry?
How much do you know about which way Pat Bonner would normally go in a penalty?
I didn't know. I just picked a side.
Chose the side, that's it.
Yeah.
Many congratulations, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Ian Durant's with us as well. Ian, the
set the scene for Rangers?
Oh, I don't know, Celtic come back strong, you know, so when you go one up ahead, you're always the back your mates, Celtic are going to come back, you know. So I thought we need another goal and make it sure. So then Cook just stepped up and make it 2-1.
Maybe you could describe the goal to us. How did you see it?
Well, it was a free kick that came across and it just sort of come off Big Terry's head. I just felt the ball on my bad foot. I goes, oh no, here we go. So I just had to shut my eyes and had it.
You're making a habit of scoring against Celtic these days.
As long as I keep doing it. Carry still.
Thanks very much.
And delighted young men there. Well, Davy Cooper's not all that young, but certainly Ian Gerrard is the star in the making, a real star. And the Rangers players must be exhausted out there. Certainly not a single Rangers supporter has left the stadium. Well, Jim, deserved one at the end, would you say, or was it so narrow that just the break of the ball?
I think it's very unfortunate that there had to be a loser here today, and I couldn't say that Rangers deserved to win it. But what I will say is that it's very, very sad that possibly we'll be talking and reading about the 1 minute that was a disaster. But there's no doubt in my mind the other 89 minutes was absolutely magnificent for Scottish football.
Yes, it is a pity that it ended so controversially, but we have seen marvellous football, and I'm sure sitting down in that studio underneath us, as enthralled as we have been, Dougie Donnelly and Andy Gray.
Yes, we can only really echo Jim McLean's words. An absolutely marvellous cup final until the very last couple of minutes when it all suddenly went wrong and really ended with some fairly ugly and obviously tragically disappointing scenes for Celtic. Andy, comments on the second half?
I thought Celtic played particularly well second half, and I would agree with Jim McLean. It's unfortunate that someone had to lose that game, Dougie. They were probably the better side in the second half, Celtic, after losing the goal and coming back very strongly and getting that magnificent goal through Brian McClair. And as Jim says, it's a pity that people, I would think, are going to go home talking about the last 5 minutes rather than the 85 minutes that went before that.
That's right, yeah, because there was some marvellous football played and some very, very good goals.
Yeah.
The penalty incident obviously is a major talking point again, but I think we saw fairly clearly on the reruns that really it was a penalty kick, wasn't it?
We've actually got the benefit of seeing it on television, and I think a lot of the Celtic fans who haven't, and Roy Aitken who probably hasn't, I think when Roy sees it, he'll actually see how we thought it was definitely a penalty, and I think the referee's been proved right, the way that Roy got hold of his jersey and then pulled him to the ground, and it's unfortunate that incident, you know, ruined the rest of the game, really.
That's right, yeah.
But I think it was a definite penalty. I don't think there was any doubt about that, Dougie. And I think when Roy sees it on TV, you know, I don't think you'll have anything to say about it. I would think he would say, yeah, well, it probably was a penalty, yeah.
Right. Rangers, of course, going ahead through that Ian Durrant goal after an hour. A Fraser free kick, and it was Terry Butcher that caused the problems, really, for the Celtic defence.
That's right. It was a long free kick from out in the wing, I think, and when it came over, and Terry went up for it and took 2 or 3 Celtic defenders with him, and it cleared everyone, caused a bit of confusion. The little boy Ian Durrant took it, a great first touch, and stuck it away brilliantly past Pat Bonner. A bad goal for Celtic to lose from that position, very similar to a goal they lost in Europe on Wednesday night. And they would be disappointed about losing that, but it was a great finish from the boy Durrant. And everyone thought then that, you know, that maybe that would give Rangers the confidence, but it did the opposite. As Jim McLean said, instead of going looking for the second goal, we were happy we won, and it seemed to spur Celtic on, and they came back into the game after that and totally dominated that game, I thought, for a long spell after that.
In fact, just before they did equalise, they got a tremendous chance, really, when that free kick hit the bar, then the goal, and a marvellous goal by Brian McClair.
It was a great goal, and it was, as we said at half-time, if Roy Aitken pushed forward a bit more into a forward position, it might cause Rangers some problems, and as it happened, that was where the goal came from, Dougie. He pushed forward, he played a great little ball to Mo Johnson, Mo laid off a great ball to Brian McClair, and what can we say about his finish? It was absolutely devastating. I mean, it was a tremendous finish. Chris Woods had a great game, but there was absolutely nothing he could do about that finish. It was a great finish.
It was indeed. And then, of course, all the drama of the penalty kick winner scored by Davy Cooper, and then in the aftermath of that, all sorts of controversy and the attention of the referee, Davy Simon, had a marvellous game up until that point, there's no doubt whatsoever. The attention drawn by a linesman to an off-the-ball incident which involved Stuart Munro and Maurice Johnston. Sadly, Johnson was shown the red card, and the final really ended on that sour note. Thanks to you, Andy. I know you felt a little bit exposed out here, but let's take nothing away from the fact it's been a marvellous cup final. Rangers, though, taking the trophy for the 13th time, and Graham Souness's first trophy as Rangers manager. From all of us here at Hampden, from Skull Cup Final 86, goodbye.